I wanted to talk this week about the kind of week that I had, and I decided to do the opposite of what I have done for most of my life. So usually I'm this like productivity guy, health and fitness, got a six pack, you know, like I'm the man. I'm this, I'm that, always confident, always feeling good, always quite positive, meditating, listening to positive information online, eating healthy, having a healthy balance between speaking to my friends and being productive, having a healthy balance between pleasure and productivity. So usually I'm the type of person who, lives a good life, like trains 3, 4 times a week, weight trains, has a good body, will eat well, will have good relationships, will be patient with my parents and with my family and with my friends, and will generally make some progress in business and in work. However, this week, after a couple of mishaps had happened on a Monday, I decided to fuck up my week and decide to go the complete opposite of how I usually am. So instead of being productive, I was like, you know what? I am not going to go to the gym this week. And it just so happened to be like, I was like a bit pissed off on Monday. I had an argument and I was like pissed off and it really like pushed me off my track. And usually I would be okay with getting back on track. Like, okay, we've had an issue. It's okay, move on. But in this instance, I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to go the complete opposite side now. I'm going to smoke weed every day. I'm going to eat shit, right? Doesn't matter what I eat. I'm not even going to care about what I eat. I am going to not put too much pressure on myself work-wise and just do whatever's on my to-do list, do a bit of basic admin, just sort of crack on with it. Nothing too special, not trying too hard. And like I said, like not worry about what I eat, and then I'll sleep whatever time I want, and then I'm gonna watch a bit of porn and masturbate if I feel like it, just to get that dopamine release. Genuinely, I did that. I was like, yeah, cool. I'm gonna have that kind of week. I'm just gonna let loose. Fuck it. I'm tired of this productivity stuff. One thing veered me off the path. I had a wedding on Sunday and I drank quite a bit, and the next day I was like, wasn't feeling great. So it kind of all spiraled from that day. And so I just decided, like I said, to let loose. And here are the results. An emotional disaster. Disastrous. The weed made me lazy in the mornings and made me eat a bunch of shit. It had a massive impact on my general mood. Not going to the gym was completely disastrous. First of all, I already don't look as good after a week. I've already lost a bunch of muscle mass. Food wise, it was like heavy on my stomach and I would eat whatever I wanted. My sleep was disrupted. It wasn't great sleep. I genuinely was quite I got annoyed easily, and so I like when I spoke to people, I was like very snappy. I wasn't patient and calculated, and I was just like I was making poor decisions, to be honest. Generally, just quite poor decision making. Was just like wasn't getting things done correctly, wasn't thinking straight, was a little bit of a slob. I was like, and then I tried to go for a couple of walks, and even that wasn't really clearing my mind. So I basically tried to live like an average Joe, like a bit of a mess for a week, for 5, 6 days to see how it went. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna see how it goes. And the result was bad. The results are really not pleasant whatsoever. It was impossible to be productive because I was anxious and paranoid that things weren't going well. It was impossible to be positive because I just wasn't, my body wasn't in the right mind frame. I couldn't think straight. The stock market ended up going down on me. I ended up losing money this week. So all of it kind of amalgamated into a loss, like felt like shit and actually lost money in the stock market. Didn't feel like talking to girls, sent a couple of messages on dating apps, didn't really follow it up, didn't feel like dating, didn't approach any girls on the street, didn't approach any girls anywhere, to be honest, wasn't in the mood. And I thought to myself, imagine how many people live that life. What an absolute disaster that must be. I just can't imagine living like that on a regular basis. My life would be completely destroyed. Completely destroyed. So I found it fascinating that the average Joe would not care about what he eats, would not go to the gym, not exercise, that would lead to him not being productive because he wouldn't be confident, he wouldn't talk to girls on the street, he wouldn't be confident with his pictures on his dating apps, just wouldn't feel comfortable talking to girls, he wouldn't feel comfortable, things coming out of his mouth wouldn't feel confident and calm, and then things would just naturally go against him. He would probably lose money in the market, his business would probably fail, people at work would just start seeing that he's deteriorating. So it was fascinating how it all just snowballed into disaster. Now, this weekend, I'm off to a cottage in the English countryside, 12 acres of land with 10 of my friends. It's one of their birthdays. I'm going to go have a fantastic time this weekend. I'm going to blow it out the water again. I'm going to go and have a great time, and I'm going to do whatever the hell it is I want to do. I'm going to go and do some DJing for my friends and just have fun. And then next week, I have put an oath, and I swear that by Tuesday next week, because we get back on Monday, and Monday's still going to be a disaster in terms of being tired and not being able to be productive. So by Tuesday next week, I'm going cold turkey on refined sugar, on any weed, on any alcohol, on any drugs. The things that I will take up is gym and sports on most days, because I have to, meditation, stretching and yoga, positive thinking, positive affirmations, watching positive content. And all of that is going to lead to results. Results with women, results in the stock market, results in business, probably results on my YouTube channel. I'm not some creative artist who needs to be depressed in order to write music. I'm a businessman. I need to be in the right mind frame to make money, to be fit, to get shit done. And so you are exactly the same, whether you're in a career, it doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're a musical artist, writing music, whether you're in a career, whether you're in business, whether you're in crypto, you need to be sharp and clear up here. And if you're anxious, you'll get nothing done. And so I lived that kind of week this week, where I lived like an average Joe, like a complete normie, doing stupid shit, eating and like eating whatever I wanted. And so I literally smoked weed every day this week. I'll be completely honest. I smoked weed every day this week. I really wanted to just run with it and see how it went. And the results were honestly disastrous. It was like short and snappy and not patient and not calculated, not thinking straight. And I'll be honest, I felt miserable. Not all the time. There were times after I'd smoked where I felt quite good, actually. But that was a fake high. That was a dopamine rush, a serotonin rush. And then when it dropped back down, you didn't feel good about yourself. And so that was a really good experiment for me to feel like what it actually feels like if you're struggling in your life. It's important for me to know what that person feels like in order to work out how I can switch that life around and bring it back to being who I am. Being this person who is wealthy, who is fit, who is charming, who is positive, who has women, who has good friends, who lives the full life, a full stack man. That's really who I am on a regular basis. Of course, I have doubts, and of course, I have, we all have insecurities and doubts. At times, we're only human. But I certainly spiraled that into a massive downfall this week. And so I found it fascinating that that's what happens to your brain. The wrong inputs ended up creating the wrong outputs. And so I'm going to go and have a wonderful weekend. I may or may not post a video tomorrow or on Monday, because I'll probably be a little bit out of my mind after being in a cottage with 12 acres of land. I'm going to go enjoy myself, do some magic mushrooms, which I find very therapeutic and wonderful. And I think that's going to give me some sort of reset. And then once I reset off the magic mushrooms, next week will be completely cold turkey on any dangerous substances, and we'll start picking up the good habits again. And I guarantee you next week, you're going to see me doing these videos a different person. And that's what I aim to achieve with you guys. Taking you from the average life into the good life, into the life that's worth living. I truly believe I'm capable of that. But I had to prove to myself that I could do it myself first. That I could have a shit week and then turn it around and then have a much better week. So, interested to see what next week's going to look like. Have a wonderful weekend. Go enjoy yourself. And next week, we're going to smash this out together. Peace out, lads.